So I think people get the sense that maybe in my playing I'm doing more thinking than I really am. So here's some of the things that I wanted to kind of explain to people as I can in a way that hopefully can help you with your own improvisation. I've been chatting to Callum today and I was chatting to Thomas yesterday about some of these kind of concepts. So what I'm going to describe this as is the hexatonic scale. So if we think about this in A major, the stuff that you're possibly used to playing would be something like an F sharp minor pentatonic. And you hopefully know that there's 5 positions of that. And then the other thing that you're probably familiar with or know about or know a little bit about is the major scale. So the A major scale, there would be 7 positions of these or 7 modes. And you could start that scale from anywhere, you know, so it could start from the 2nd degree. Or from the 4th degree. Or from the 7th degree. So these are the tools that I would use to improvise in A major. These are the kind of underlying skeletons, the underlying kind of fretboard thing, right? And I'm not actually thinking too much. Now, one of the things that might happen when you start doing this thing is that if you're playing an A major, you'll find that there is one note in particular that sticks out in the scale which will sound quite bad quite a lot of the time. And in A major, it's the 4th degree of the scale, it's the D, which is the problem. And you could look up avoid note if you want to know more about this. So the avoid note is called that because in certain chords, this degree of the scale, the 4th degree of the scale, will cause a clash. And if you land on it and stick on it during improvisation, this can really make it sound like it's an accident. It can make it sound like slightly stilted improvisation. It doesn't sound hugely melodic. Now, there's 2 approaches to avoiding this, and one is to think about the pentatonic scale and 1 extra note. The other is to think about the major scale with 1 note less. So let's go with the simpler option, and we'll look at our F sharp minor pentatonic. So we can add the 7th degree of the scale, which in A major would be a G sharp. So you're looking for a G sharp. So on our 1st string, there's a G sharp here. So we could add that to the shape. And again, between here and here, there's a G sharp. So you get 3 notes, 2, 3, 2, 3, there's another G sharp. So you're just looking for where there's a G sharp available. That is technically called a hexatonic scale. It's a 6-note scale, but I like to think of it as the major scale without the avoid note, or the pentatonic scale with 1 extra note. So that's position 1. We have 5 positions of the major scale, right? Of the pentatonic scale. So here's the major version. So we're looking for a G sharp, we could add 1 here. There's another one. There's another one. Okay, so just slowly. And you're looking for where you can fit that G sharp in. So 3 notes on the E, and 3 notes on the D, and 3 notes on the E, right? Okay, then our next shape starts on the B, same principle. So we're looking for G sharps wherever they're available. 2 notes, 2 notes, 3, 2, 3, 2. Okay, then we got a shape starting from here. So 2 notes on the E, 3 on the A, 3 on the B. So you'll notice, I think, that you get 2 strings or sometimes 3 where you have an extra note. Then our E, this is the last shape. We get a G sharp here. There's the shape, so 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3. Now this is going to take your own exploration to find this stuff. Okay, but it can make your playing sound a little bit more intentional, a bit more melodic. I forgot one there. This is something that I first kind of picked up that Gary Moore was doing in his playing, and Scott Gorham, like I was talking about today. It's not just that note is there, and one note is really all you need to make that pentatonic sound pretty complete. Right, and then the other approach, as I say, if you start thinking about from a 3-note per string kind of way, then we're just going to avoid our 4th degree of the scale. So you can still view it. It would be here next, right, the D there, and I'm just not going to play it. Then I'm going to play the E, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, and then I'm going to avoid that D. So if you already know your 3-note per string kind of scales, this can be a really interesting exercise. So now on our B Dorian kind of thing, we get that kind of idea. On our C sharp Phrygian, we're viewing our 4th degree of the scale as we go. just playing around it instead of actually playing it. Okay, and then we start from our 4th degree of the scale, and what I want you to do is still start with your finger there in that Phrygian shape, but you're just not going to play it. That one was quite hard. Okay, then our Mixolydian shape. Okay, then we got our F sharp minor shape, Aeolian. Something like that. Then we got one more, Locrian. Nearly got caught there. Then the other approach maybe is to specifically target your 4th degree so you can really picture where that is and try and hit the avoid note at all times. So that you can become hyper aware of where this note is going to happen and where that might potentially land you in trouble if you're improvising. And then you can kind of improvise around it. And, you know, sprinkle it in. In a more controlled way, maybe. So that's what I would suggest practicing, this kind of idea. So you're taking like a little scale fragment. And kind of make a shorter phrase into a longer one. That's our idea. We're starting on the 5th degree of the scale, the E, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, skip the 4, 5, and we're back. And then take that idea again. We could try that as an idea. Or, you know, take this as the idea. So we're starting on the 3rd degree of the scale and falling down, skipping the 4, and then we can start again. In that kind of way. Could try joining up. Phrases in this longer way where you're either thinking about the major scale minus the 4th degree or the pentatonic plus the 2nd degree or 7th, however you want to think about it. If it's the major, then you're adding the 7. If you're viewing it as the minor, then you're adding the 9. So let me know if that was at all helpful. I'll put together a little bit of a worksheet for Patreon members and a backing track that you saw me playing over in the intro, but you can then start to see these bigger shapes. And I'm just not hitting the 4th degree of the scale unless I really intend to, and I think that can be a really good way to make it sound more like you're playing intentional melodic content. Catch you in another video soon. My name's John Cordy. That's the hexatonic scale explained in the way that I think about it, and you tend to see me use a lot of this. Catch you in another video soon. Cheers.